Chapter 1. The Unfamiliar Silence. The air hangs heavy with a sense of foreboding as the echoes of footsteps resonate through the cold, concrete halls of the maximum security prison. In this desolate place where hope is often an afterthought, 5 unique individuals find themselves trapped behind unyielding walls. The hum of fluorescent lights flickers ominously above, and the rattling of cell doors marks the passage of time, a constant reminder of their confinement. In his diary, Marcus the poet Ramirez reflects on the dreams he once held close, now fading like distant stars swallowed by shadows. His words spill onto the pages, weaving lyrical expressions of regret, guilt, and the longing for redemption. As he looks out through barred windows, he feels the weight of lost opportunities, yet senses a flicker of something more profound, a chance to share his voice amid the silence. Through his eyes, listeners catch a glimpse of the resilience that flickers even in the darkest of places. Chapter 2. The Activist Emerges. Sarah, the Protector Adams, steps into her role within the prison, her diary reflecting her journey from social worker to inmate. Old memories of advocating for vulnerable families fill her thoughts as she navigates the harsh realities of prison life. The walls close in, yet within this confinement, her spirit burns fiercely. "I never thought I'd become a voice for these women," she writes, detailing her determination to challenge the injustices she encounters daily. Sarah initiates a support group where she empowers young inmates to advocate for their rights, sharing tools for self-defense and resilience. Each entry captures her fierce compassion and the bond she forges with those around her. Despite the weight of her past, Sarah finds solace in their shared stories, illuminating the strength in solidarity. As she writes, she realizes that even in the darkest places, hope can flourish through unity and understanding. Chapter 3. Hacking Reality. As the echo of the cell door slamming behind him faded, Liam the Tech Whiz Howard took a deep breath, grounding himself in the stark reality of his new life. Crime had once been a game, an adrenaline-fueled dance with danger through the glow of computer screens, where he believed he was untouchable. His diary entries unveil the ghost of a past filled with triumphs and pitfalls, as he reflects on the ethics of his cyber exploits. In a recent entry, he writes, "I hacked the system, but I lost sight of the humanity within it. Every code I cracked robbed someone of their peace." This newfound introspection leads him to mentor fellow inmates, demystifying technology and its hold over them. As he shares insights about digital manipulation, both of systems and lives, Liam emerges as an unexpected voice of reason, bridging the gap between the world outside and the walls that confine them. Chapter 4. Colors of the Past. Evelyn's reflections pour out in vibrant hues, a stark contrast to the gray walls that confine her. In her diary, she writes about life before incarceration, her laughter-filled home, the smell of her children's hair after a bath, and the tingling excitement of birthday parties. Each memory pulses with pain, reminding her of moments stolen by addiction. "I wish I could paint their faces to life," she confides, sketching out the joy and regret in her artistry. Her entries blend nostalgic prose and delicate drawings, inspired by fleeting memories. A crayon-bright sunflower, a confident little girl holding her hand, and a drawing of a family dinner all intertwine with her yearning to reunite. For Evelyn, art is her salvation, a way to reclaim her identity while she ponders how to bridge the distance from her children. "Every stroke is a step toward hope," she writes, capturing both her sorrow and resilience in this unforgiving place. 5. In the stillness of his cell, David, the philosopher Klein, reflects on the tangled web of choices that led him to a life behind bars. His journal entries, steeped in existential contemplation, reveal the heavy burden of a crime born from passion and regret. "Every decision ripples through our lives," he writes, recalling the narrowing consequences that framed his existence. David muses over the nature of good and evil, pondering whether redemption is ever truly attainable. Conversations with fellow inmates during their midnight gatherings reveal a hunger for understanding and connection. As he shares his thoughts on morality, others begin to open up about their own pasts, igniting a shared vulnerability among them. Through his writings, David not only processes his own regrets, but cultivates an environment of introspection. In the crucible of confinement, he realizes that understanding lies not just in the mind, but also in the heart, weaving a deeper sense of community among the inmates. Chapter 6. The Power of Words. As the sun dipped below the gray concrete walls, Marcus sat on the worn bench in the prison yard, his heart racing with anticipation. Today, he would share a poem that encapsulated his journey, Whispers of Redemption. In his diary entry, he poured out his thoughts, reflecting on how words became his lifeline in this bleak world. "In this cage, I found my voice," he wrote, each line resonating with the painful beauty of his past. As Marcus began to recite, his voice quivered, then grew in strength, echoing with the weight of his emotions. Inmates gathered, drawn by the magnetism of his words. Laughter and tears intertwined as they connected with the raw honesty of his story. This moment sparked a newfound sense of community, showing them that in expressing their suffering, they could also find solace. Words became not just a release, but a bridge between fragmented lives, an awakening of hope within the walls. Chapter 7. Finding Strength in Sisterhood. Sarah sat in the dimly lit common area, surrounded by a small group of women eager to participate in her self-advocacy workshop. As she began her diary entry, she reflected on the importance of community and support in this harsh environment. "Today, we took a step towards empowerment," she wrote, her pencil scratching against the paper. The women shared their stories, each tale layered with struggle, strength, and resilience. They discussed how to voice their needs in a system that often silenced them. As Sarah guided them through techniques for effective communication, she felt a sense of sisterhood form, bonds forged in shared experiences and mutual understanding. As they laughed and cried, Sarah realized that her own healing was intertwined with theirs. Together, they transformed vulnerability into a powerful force, igniting hope for their future. In this communal space, they were not just inmates, they were sisters, reclaiming their voices. Chapter 8. Code Blue. Lockdown. The sudden klaxon of the alarm cuts through the usual hum of prison life, plunging the inmates into an oppressive silence. As the guards shout commands over the intercom, Sarah gathers the women in her unit, feeling the weight of their anxious eyes. Diary entry after diary entry echoes her resolve. Survival amid chaos is not just about navigating fear, but about protecting one another. "For once, we are a sisterhood, bound by shared confinement," she writes fervently. In the cramped common area, palpable tension thickens the air. They huddle together, forming an unspoken pact, whispering their fears and sharing memories of home, fostering a fragile camaraderie. Each heart beats faster, yet Sarah reminds them, together we are stronger. Amid the chaos, moments of vulnerability emerge, bridging gaps that once divided them. In a world stripped of freedom, they find solace in their shared humanity, igniting a spark of hope through unity in this darkest hour. Chapter 9. Cyber Companions. As the fluorescent lights flickered overhead, Liam sat amidst a circle of curious faces in the rec yard, his laptop resting on his knees. Today he offered a crash course on technology, an unexpected role that had become a source of camaraderie among inmates. His diary entry captures the moment, filled with excitement and trepidation. "Understanding communications technology is like unlocking a door," he wrote. "Each line of code tells a story, just like ours." As he explained concepts like social media and online security, faces transformed from confusion to intrigue. Liam drew parallels between their digital realities and prison life, illuminating how technology can both divide and connect individuals. In this shared knowledge, laughter erupted over tech mishaps and banter flowed seamlessly. In this bond, they discovered an unanticipated kinship, the kind woven through screens and pixels, bridging the generational gap and affirming the importance of connection, even in confinement. Chapter 10. Evelyn's artistic journey takes center stage as she finds solace in her sketches, transforming her cell into a canvas for her emotions. Her diary entry reveals a heartbreaking story about the last birthday she spent with her children, a celebration overshadowed by her struggles with addiction. As she describes the joy in their laughter mingling with her guilt, the pages blend vibrant illustrations with scrawled words, depicting moments of happiness entwined with longing. In the common room, she shares her artwork with fellow inmates, introducing them to the power of creativity as a healing mechanism. Her drawings evoke memories and aspirations, inspiring others to express their own stories. Art isn't just a distraction, it's lifeblood, she writes, capturing their collective yearning for freedom and connection. In this moment, the women forge an unbreakable bond through shared vulnerability, united in their quest for healing and hope behind the prison walls. As the prison lights dimmed and quiet settled over the cell block, David gathered a small group of curious inmates for his late-night philosophy sessions. The hushed atmosphere sparked a candidness that daytime rarely allowed. David, with his calm demeanor, initiated discussions on existence, purpose, and the heavy burden of choices. His diary entries captured these conversations, a tapestry of thoughts weaving around the meaning of freedom and the weight of past sins. One night, an unexpected voice emerged. Marcus shared his views on how our fears can bind us, akin to the prison walls themselves. Evelyn chimed in, channeling her experiences of regret, adding layers of emotion to the dialogue. As these discussions unfolded, a sense of camaraderie grew. Each inmate's perspective enriched the others. In this exchange of ideas, they found solace, forging connections that transcended their bleak surroundings and illuminated paths toward self-discovery and hope. Chapter 12. The Ripple Effect. Tensions ripple through the prison as whispers of a possible riot circulate among inmates. In their cells, Marcus, Sarah, Liam, Evelyn, and David each grapple with their fears in diary entries, their thoughts revealing a shared anxiety about the impending chaos. Marcus reflects on the fragility of hope in such environments while composing a haunting poem that captures the weight of their collective dread. Sarah channels her protective instincts, encouraging the women in her unit to come together, fostering a sense of solidarity amid uncertainty. Liam analyzes the psychology behind unrest, contemplating the consequences of their shared anxieties in the digital age. Meanwhile, Evelyn struggles with the thought of missing her children during turmoil, her artwork capturing her deepest fears. David convenes an impromptu gathering, urging fellow inmates to engage in open dialogue and confront their worries. As night falls, their camaraderie strengthens, knitting them closer together in the face of impending danger. Chapter 13. The Collective Canvas. The atmosphere in the prison yard buzzed with anticipation as the communal art project took shape. Sarah gathered the inmates, her voice steady and encouraging, urging them to envision their stories on the mural. Each character brought their unique perspective. Marcus sketched phrases of hope. Evelyn contributed vibrant hues representing love for her children, while Liam added digital motifs symbolizing the complexity of technology. As they worked side by side, laughter erupted and bonds deepened amidst the strokes of paint, a temporary escape from the bleakness surrounding them. The mural transformed into a tapestry of shared dreams, fears, and resilience. Voices blended in discussion, revealing personal stories intertwined with the artwork. In this moment, the prison walls felt less confining. They symbolized not just isolation, but also the potential for unity and healing. As they stepped back to admire their collective creation, glimmers of pride illuminated their faces, reminding them that beauty can flourish even in the harshest realities.